I have had this Stompa in my possession for over 15 years. I've only finished building it in the last year, complete with this big belly gun edition. And now I'm going to finally get around to painting it. But it's a big task, so I've got Jenn.
Hi.
I'm gonna get Jenn to help me paint this. We're gonna paint the Stompa at the same time.
We're gonna paint together?
Yeah. So it's a team effort for the Orks to paint a whole Stompa after their big mech has assembled it. So I thought it would be really fun to see how effective we could be at painting this whole model together as well, but with a bit of an Orky twist. Let's go spray it first. Jenn and I are leaping into this with a lot of planned abandon. Basically, we have free license to be messy, make mistakes, because it'll all look orky.
Look, it's so wavy!
And we're gonna go backwards and forwards.
It's glowing already. Oh wow, that looks so good. That looks amazing.
Cleaning parts up, weathering, cleaning parts up again, making more mess, and it's gonna be this really organic, fun way to go about a project. Is this gonna turn out really well? Only time will tell.
Hey.
But it's a cool experiment and we were really glad to give it a go. Now we decided that we're gonna divide the Stompa down in half. Literally, we're gonna put a line straight down the middle. And Jenn actually had this really cool idea of getting an aerosol and just spraying it either side during the priming stage.
We're done.
And I thought that was really, really cool. So already we're seeing some benefits of doing a project like this with another person. Now after having thrown a few browns around to really sort of acclimate ourselves into some of the weathering, which is a lot of fun, and I'd recommend it to anyone if they've ever just done something very clean like a Space Marine or something that just doesn't have a lot of dirt. Try something orkish, it's a hell of a lot of fun. You just get to throw dirt everywhere. Dirt, rust, grime, it's mwah. It's a great time. I'm gonna be honest, I thought it would have a lot more of an ugly stage, but that's kind of cool. It's a little bit fast food chain, but I think the red and yellow that will really pull together and make it really orky. So let's get some tools and just start painting.
Yeah, painting. Woo!
Here's the plan. We painted this guy in 2 colors, and these are the 2 areas that Jenn and I will both paint. To start off with, I'm gonna take the yellow side, and Jenn will take the red side. And we'll work on our sides for the time being until it comes time that we'll start overlapping and doing random panels to get that really ramshackle orc feel. And having the 2 different styles of 2 different people will give this really cool effect. I'm hoping. I hope that pans out. If you'd like to support the channel and what we do here at Tabletop Time, we have a whole range of merchandise, all sorts of shirts, aprons, jumpers, hoodies, all of this you can get in our own lineup, including designs that are based on things that we've done here at Tabletop Time, either in the roleplay or within the studio itself. The links are in the description, so go check them out. We'd really appreciate it, but because of this very messy project we're going to be doing, I'm going to be slipping into one of our aprons. It's for the bit. Nice. Yeah.
So after our little spray paint war, it was time to start painting up the Stompa. Now, both Mari and I had discussed putting on some weathering effects in the first stage so then we could build upon these later. I also really wanted to make sure that each of these panels was established at first in red and then we could go back later and make them more unique. So going ahead and using a bunch of different colors, including browns and blacks, to just stipple on those different colors. In some of Mari's previous models, he had used a brown to stipple on this sort of rust or dirty looking effect, so I wanted to create that same effect so it could be cohesive through his army. We found that the red was a little bit darker than the yellow in contrast, so we wanted to make sure that those darks were really established. Therefore, we stippled on a little bit more black in these areas rather than the yellow where the brown stood out more. We wanted to focus on areas that were particularly dirty, such as his underarms and anywhere where oil may be leaking. It was time to add on those little flecks of silver where paint would be chipping off of the model. We lastly went ahead and started line highlighting some of these panels, particularly in the front, just to make them stand out. For now, we just did this in a brighter yellow and red, but later on we may go back and change this up a bit. We also went ahead and started adding in just some base coats to these finer details, such as the grots on top of the Stompa and the guns as well. Once all of our base coating and a little bit of texturing was done, it was time to move on to the next stage.
So we'll just, no, define that line. It's alright, it's fine. The orcs are messy painters. We'd be doing them a disservice to do this really nicely, and we'll clean it up with weathering later. The imaginary line is here, but I'm just going to take all of this one.
Oh, well then I'm going to take this one.
Alright, I'm re-establishing this one.
This one's mine!
Yeah.
And I'm going to take this one!
Ah! Fine.
Now where was I? Ah yes, in the process of dividing all of the panels up, you can see that the colours that we're applying are actually a lot brighter than the spray paint, which is going over lots of layers, and it is itself quite thin. And this was of course unplanned, but it's the reality of putting on paints as opposed to something that's primed. So we're going to roll with it. We're going to apply this stronger paint to some of the random panels as well, so we'll get these nice varying hues and saturations around the different parts of the model. One idea I had as we were going about this is that I actually got Jenn to help me paint random panels around the Stompa Acadian green. Now you'll notice that the guns sticking out the front look a lot like they were taken from Imperial vehicles. Because they were. So I want to have that Acadian aesthetic all over the model. Acadian because the green will contrast nicely with everything we're doing. It'll give this real feel that the orcs have just dismantled an entire destroyed battalion of Imperial tanks and just slap parts of those still painted metal straight onto it. In fact, I'm going to try and paint a couple of corners of Aquillas on some of the plates. While I worked on that, Jenn was actually working away at some of the banners and sigils hanging off of this, and she went for this really strong white and applied it really wetly with a sponge, which gave this really crazy effect that really looks like some orcs have just slapped white paint on it. It's real science as to how to paint a model like one of the actual characters has painted it themselves, and yet this is actually turning out quite well. I'm really happy with this so far. I've already spoken about how painting orc things can be really messy, and that's all of the fun. This allows you to not be so precious with the model, and you can make mistakes, and you can just cover that up later or make it part of the process. Quite a few times we'll spill or go over the edges, and we'll just mop that up and make some weathering over it. There's no need to tidy it up later, just cover it and go on, make it part of the levels of texture that build up on this model. Unfortunately, there comes a time where all there is to do is the final little details, which is a little bit tricky for two people to do at once, as much as we'd like to try. So I'm just going over and doing the fine little details, horns, the skin on the little Gretchen that are attached, and any little extra weathering that I think this deserves. So there's still a lot to do on this, but I'm gonna have to do this part solo. As we get close to the stages of doing highlights, I want to look at the model for a second and just determine where I can put more focal points. The chainsaw arm in particular is lacking a lot of focal interest. I want the eye to be drawn there a lot. So I'm actually gonna add a lot of reds and even some brasses there. It's sort of just melting away into obscurity, but I want that to be at the forefront and your eye is going to always dart to it. So I'm gonna introduce a lot of the reds that are on Jenn's part of the model into this. This will allow your eye to dart between the two parts of the model, circulating more and more. This is actually a really good showcase painting technique. It makes people's eyes stick with your model more than everyone else's. Now, these final details are going to include parts of the Aquila on the Cadian sections of the armor, as well as, of course, painting the skin on the grots. Jen's gone ahead and actually done the base coating for the grots, so it's down to me to just give some really nice highlights to add the character onto them. There's also painting all of the pipes that are poking around everywhere. Painting these will also give an elevated sense of detail. If you keep adding in these little details that make the eye bounce around, it just makes the model seem more and more intricate. And now, finally, this Stompa is ready. A huge thank you to our patrons. It is you that let us make these 2 videos a week and keep bringing you amazing and absolutely bonkers content. If you'd like to sign up to our Patreon, we have our own exclusive patron Discord where you can share all of your mini-related endeavors, as well as join in on our monthly mini review where we get to sit down, discuss, and enjoy all the artworks that our patrons have put together. It's a huge amount of fun and a highlight every month for us. The links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching until the end of the video, and I hope you really enjoyed what is a pretty novel and eccentric way of painting a model. I've seen collabs before, like, one person paints the thing and then shoves it over. I don't think I've seen someone paint one model at the same time as someone else.
No, the turntable was a good touch as well. I really enjoyed spinning it around. I think I'll do that more often.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting me along to...
It was great. It was awesome to have you. You did such a good job. I'm really happy with the Stompa. It looks amazing.
Thanks.
Let us know if we should do something like this again. It would be really cool to see. Maybe something a bit less messy? I don't know. Maybe that's the vibe.
Maybe more messy. Don't forget to check out our merch store as well. Links are down in the description below and get yourself some awesome stuff. Yep. That's that. Yep, like that. You can even write on it too. I don't know if it's going to come off in the wash, but it's...
I don't want it to.
Oh.
This is forever.
Okay.
Aprons aren't meant to be clean.
True.
All right. I'm out. Good.